Boy, have I got some updates to share with you on the van build today. I have a shock when I find out how much the van weighs, we make some last minute preparations before the first camp, and I finally get to find out how comfy my new slide out bed is. Make yourself a brew and join me for the rest of the video.
Good morning, Vietnam. I think that's the phrase, isn't it? What's that from? What film is that from? Apocalypse Now or something, is it? Maybe? Oh, it has been a few days since I filmed the last clip on the last video where I was just feeling absolutely horrendous. I still don't feel 100%, but I think I'm about 95% there. Can you notice a slight energy uptake, a bit of an energy boost? I've still got some fluid on the lungs, so whenever I'm coughing I can still feel a bit of a rasp, but I feel much more energetic now. I've had some breakfast this morning, the appetite's coming back a little bit, the digestive system is starting to work normally again. Probably a bit too much information there, sorry about that. But I'm excited, I've got that fire burning back again. So, what we're going to get done in today's video? Well, we are going to get this van camp ready. So at the moment it's in a right state. We've got things all over the place, carpet, trim pieces, we've got loads of carpet in the front there, because the video after this video is going to be a camp. I'm determined of it. I'm going camping, ladies and gentlemen, and nothing's going to stop me. Well, maybe if I get ill again, maybe, but that's not going to happen. Been ill twice now. Surely I've got to build up some immunity. A really, really, really exciting update to share with you, which I'll leave in a little bit. But we have all of the foam delivered. So all the foam's arrived for the bed, for the sofa bed. We've got everything that we need now to make a bed in the back of the van. Now once I get that on the actual bed itself, slide it out, get some bedding for it, put a couple of pillows down there and rest my head on the back, then I will feel like we're ready to go camping. There's a couple of the things I want to do today as well, some really important things, one of which is getting this van weighed. I want to see exactly how much this van weighs, because a few of you have left comments really worried about how much this van's going to weigh, and I'm really worried about it as well. 3.5 ton is what this van is rated to, and if it goes over that, then we're in you know what without a paddle. And I also want to take it up the Wild Cop in Shrewsbury, which is a very steep embankment, up there and see if the van has any issues getting up there, which is going to be a bit nervy, because now we've got all the stuff in here that's made it a conversion. There is going to be a lot of added weight. And in this video as well, we're going to be fitting a nice little pop-up table that's very similar to the NPC. It won't be carpeted, mind. This is going to be a little piece that goes on the end that I can pop up and put tea on in the morning, or some breakfast maybe, if I'm stood out here talking and yabbering away to people, looking on some mountain view. I can't wait.
So I got to work giving the van a little winter/spring clean before taking her for a blast down the M54 and getting her weighed.
Okay, I've got the figures for the van weight. Just currently filming this shot outside Cousins Furniture in Holscott, Battlefield, Shrewsbury. I thought it was a slightly better shot than just filming it inside the van. Got someone on a driving lesson there. Anyway, here are said figures. So, without me in the van, and I was as shocked as you are with this figure, it is, oh, nearly got one over there. It is 2820. That's without me in the van. So that means just over 2.8 ton, which I think is pretty darn light for a camper van. Maybe this van, with all the ambulance gear in, with all the seats, etc., surely it would have been heavier than that. Yeah, 2.8, just under, or just over, should I say, 2.8 ton. And then with me in the van, because it said you want to weigh yourself as well while you're in the van, 2940. So, does that mean I'm a fat bastard? Oh, you can hear the crackle on the lungs there, can't you? So what else have we got to do to this van for it to be finished? Not a lot, actually. Apart from a couple of little, personal touches, possibly. We've got to add all of our camping equipment. So pots and pans, which I've actually just picked up some here from the unit. We're going to add some water in here as well. So if anyone's got an experience with loading their camper vans, if that's what the van is, 2940, with me in it, with all of this kit in it as well, that most of it won't be in here, like jigsaws and stuff, by the time we come camping, I don't think there's anything to worry about. I mean, at some point in the near future, we're going to be building some overhead cupboards. How many I build and how thick and robust and heavy they'll be, I don't know yet. I'll have to come to that when we actually start building it, but I'm pretty happy with that weight. I was in fear that it was going to be above 3 ton, as it is, especially with the 18mm thick ply, the fridge, the battery, all the gubbins in the back, the amount of wood, the scorver beams that we've used for the bed, you know, the big old sideboard, generally more heavy than, say, your normal campervan units. But no, pretty happy with that. 282 without me, 2940 with me. Off to Wild Cop now. We're going to go up the steepest, or one of the steepest roads in Shrewsbury. We're going to see if this van has any issues. Wish me luck. The Wild Cop is just over this bridge in front of us. Bit nervous, not going to lie. Never been up such a steep road in this van before. Right up into the town centre. Right, let's get down to second gear. Okay. We should just be able to fly up here. Second gear's fine. Yep, doing well. Still in second gear. No worries. No worries whatsoever. Spot on. Let's start cutting that wood to shape and start seeing if we can fit it inside of here. I'm genius, I am. Just thought, if I take out that foam from that plastic packaging, I can then lay that over my table while I paint that piece of wood to protect the table. Clever, and I. So all this foam at the back here is from a company called E-Foam, and they have been absolute lifesavers when it's come to thinking about how I'm going to put some foam or mattress on this bed, because it's a custom bed. The dimensions don't fit a standard mattress. I couldn't just go and whack a king size mattress on this because it's not the right size, and plus it's not in 2 pieces. I needed some foam that was in 2 pieces to be able to sit on the half of the bed, and then when I pull it out I can then pull down the other half to then make a full bed. Yeah. Oh yeah. You'll have to excuse the back end at the moment because I intend to cut that down and trim it around the corners there. But yeah, that is the first half of the bed. And then when we slide the bed out, this piece, which we're now going to get unwrapped as well, will sit on top temporarily, and it might be able to fold backwards, or I just slide it forwards onto the slide out section. That should stay where it is if I pull this. Which it does, perfect. I think this is probably one of the biggest moments I've been looking forward to, actually, is getting foam in this van, and it's going to make it feel so much more comfortable. So that should now slot in there, like that, perfect, brilliant, perfectly fits. All we need to do then is cut that to the contours, and then we have our full king size bed. It's all from a company called E-Foam. So if you're interested, I'll leave a link in the description below to E-Foam. They do all custom cut foam. I think they do a lot for camper vans, to be fair, because a lot of the beds that you see in camper vans, they're not standard size beds. So any kind of foam that you want cut, whether you want round corners cut, specific dimensions, whether it be for seating areas or beds, etc., they are the best place to go if you've got a custom sized bed.
this cafe, and he said, how long's your train journey? I said, 4.5 hours. He went, so you got, I was going to get about 10. He went, 6:30, mate.
Look at the quality of that painting, eh? Smooth as glass. If only. I might get
Prefers them to us now.
a better piece of wood at some point, just to stick on the side there, because I don't know, I wanted that kind of piece of wood there. That matched with the side unit because that came out of there, but now I don't need one of them because I've used part of that as a water storage area. So I could have used one of them on the side, but they're just not quite wide enough to be able to go into the structural part of that bed. So maybe I'll upgrade the piece of wood at some point, but we do have a piece of wood here drying that will go nicely on the side there as a nice little breakfast table.
I gave the van a final once over with the Hoover before attaching the side table to the sofa bed. A huge thank you to today's video sponsor, LightMe, and this is their Cozy Fit open ear headphones. Now, it'll probably come as no surprise to you long-standing viewers that I'm quite a fan of listening to podcasts while I work on this van. Whether it be the Ricky Gervais show or the Bad Friends podcast, I listen to them all the time while whiling away the hours while working on this van. And the one thing that frustrates me the most about listening to podcasts is I'm constantly having to move my phone from front to back all the time when I'm working on different parts of the van, and that's where these are going to come in handy. Every single kind of earbud that I've had over the last few years has given me discomfort after a few hours. I'm glad to say these don't actually go inside your ear. The design would make you believe so, but you pop them behind your ear like so, and there's a speaker that sits just in front of your ear that not only increases how comfortable and how long you can wear these for, but it also enables you to hear your surroundings. Now, with the standalone earbuds you get up to 8 hours of playtime, but with the portable charging case you can extend that up to 40 hours. You place them in there with a little magnetic connection and it charges your earphones. A huge thanks again to LightMe for sponsoring today's video, and don't forget to use my discount code BrendanExplores to get yourself 10% off the LightMe Cozy Fit open ear headphones. I'll leave a link in the description below. Now back to the build. Okay.
Yes?
Yeah. Let's give it a test.
Hey, hey!
Yeah, solid.
I think the next job, let's have a good look at that diesel heater. Let's get the casing off and let's see what's rubbing on those fans. So, that's one end cap removed. Well, there's no fan there, so I think that's going to go back on in a minute. Ah, right. Here's the fan. So can you see the fan down there?
Yes, I can see the fan.
And can you hear that? So the fan looks in perfect condition, but what's happening is it was just rubbing on this plastic casing. Right, let's switch the electric on and just have a listen to that. Now that I've reseated that back piece, hopefully that'll stop any rubbing. Okay, so the way that this heater works, I think it works on a thermostat, and this is the thermostat up here, so it's not like how fast you want it to work or how much fuel you want pumped into it. I think this is a temperature control system. So now that the electric's on of the van, if I turn it just past halfway, hear that?
Yep.
That's the fan. Hear that?
Yeah.
See, it's ever so slight,
Take the cover off. Oh,
but listen, if I hold it down like that, it's fine.
Nothing serious, Brendan. Nothing serious.
Yeah,
Bit annoying, isn't
it's
it?
annoying.
I'll tell you what. There's a way around that. I can cure that. Yep. Take the cover off again. We'll put a spacer on the bottom bit, and that'll
Hang on.
He didn't want me to cure it then.
Yeah, it was listening to you. Yeah, don't touch me. So we've got our carbon monoxide alarm. Let's keep that in here. All windows are closed, that's fine. So the exhaust should be exhausting out of the side now. That's warming up. So we'll let that run for a little bit, make sure that it's not rubbing like it was before, make sure it's still operating properly, gets nice and toasty in here. Let's also ensure that the carbon monoxide level stays at 0, and then we'll have a little look at where we can put some USB sockets maybe. So these are the ones that I've got. So we've got a battery monitor, we've also got a switch, not quite sure what I'd use a switch for yet though, and we've also got 2 little ports
12
here.
volts, 12 volts?
Yeah, so underneath here is some USB ports, but I've also got some little USB connectors here as well. Now we're going to secure this sofa bed to the van now. We don't need that to be coming in and out anymore.
She stood there laughing.
Let's have that.
Oh, sorry, Brendan. oh, sorry. I don't know what's happening there.
Was that done accidentally on purpose, was it?
Put your knee against it, Brendan. Put your knee against it. Yeah.
It's alright. Okay, next job, before we start thinking about fitting USBs and stuff, is getting that foam cut. And our weapon of choice to be able to cut the foam today is my old trusty bread knife. Okay, we've got our measurements, it's on the edge. Let's get cutting.
Oh, that's not too bad.
It's not too bad, is it?
It's okay.
Okay, method number 2, more like a samurai sword this time. Okay, that should be more accurate now. Okay.
That's perfect.
That's fine there.
Go on. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow, look at the size of that bed.
Good, isn't it?
That's the biggest bed I've seen. Is that good or what? Is that good?
Yeah.
Hey?
Oh, that's a silly size bed. Oh, I mean, I'm 6'2", and I've still got about 10 centimetres at the end there.
That's cool, isn't it?
Well, my dad's gone home now. He's gone for his afternoon nap. He's actually lasted quite long today, to be fair. Quite proud of him. Right, it's getting a bit chilly now. The sun has dipped behind the clouds and it is cold. Now the next task on the agenda is fitting these quite little neat USB sockets. So if you don't want the blue LED light showing at all times, which seems to be a common theme of these Campervan USB sockets, which is super annoying, especially if you're trying to sleep, you've got a little flap here which you can cover them with. It comes with, what's that, quick charge 3.0, normal USB, and we've also got PD 3.0 USB-C, and you can turn it on or turn it off. So it's got like a little micro switch inside. Got a positive and negative, and that's the only hole size that you need to drill into your wood or metal of the van. Really nice and handy, these. I can't remember where I got these from. Were they eBay or Amazon? I can't remember, but I have seen, I've got some wire that I can connect these together with some Wagos, and I can filter through to the fuse board. There, and that's where our socket's going to be. Nice. And then our cover, little faceplate, can go over that and hide the screws. Brilliant. Okay, 2 Wagos. We can connect the 2 wires together, and then we're going to need some eyelets to go on the negative and positive terminals of the fuse board. Starting to sound like I know what I'm talking about. Right, we are wired up. We've got a heat shrink, we've got a negative and positive, we've got our Wagos attached. So if I turn this on, we've got a fuse there, which is fine. That USB port should work. Hey, looks like we got power. We've got light. let's just plug this in. Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are fast charging at the moment. Fantastic. And we can close that when we don't need them, and when we do, we can open it, and we can press the button to turn it off. Brilliant. Oh, I'm super chuffed and proud of myself with that. I'm going to finish off channeling the cables properly so they're not draping over the battery, across and over, so it's nice and neatly channeling to the fuse board. But I'm happy with that. I'm chuffed for myself. Did that all by myself. Okay, next job on the agenda, we've got this 5mm ply that we're going to be measuring and cutting to cover that little ugliness there and that little ugliness there as well. And then I've also got the dividers that came out of one of these, and I think we're going to need to raise these little stopper things, if I can even get them out. Oh, yeah, that can come out, and we need to maybe drill another hole here just so we can raise it slightly so we can miss this, and then we've got 2-tier storage then. Where's that little mark? There we go. Pieces of wood, check. One final thing to give this van the last bit of stealth factor, if you can really do that on this van, is finally applying these wind deflectors. Now, if you don't know what these are, most of you probably do, especially if you've been camping in vehicles at any time in your life, but what these allow you to do is, when you're camping, specifically in a smaller vehicle, I mean this one might not suffer so much, but I'm still going to have them anyway, it gives you the ability to be able to crack your windows an inch or two just to give your living space a little bit of airflow. Thankfully I've got a fan installed, but I brought these before that was installed, so we're going to install them anyway. I think it will be a nice addition along with these tints as well, and it will just enable me to crack the window slightly to hopefully prevent windscreen condensation in the morning, and it will just give a nice bit of airflow through the cabin. If you've got them two open in the middle of the night, a couple of inches, you're not going to get any rain in because these cover your windows, and hopefully it'll circulate through the fan and I'll have a nice airy place to sleep as opposed to being all congested and feeling like a stuffy head in the morning. Just got to make sure that the surface that you're putting that on is completely clean. Now, what I would have liked to have done is to use some carbon cleaner, like a spray can that I've got at the unit, but that means me going to the unit and coming back, and I don't really fancy doing that. So I've got some Aldi baby wipes and the addition of that microfiber cloth to try and get it as clean as possible, to try and get a nice fit. Voila! 2 front wind deflectors now fitted. I can crack those windows in the middle of the night now, get a little bit of airflow through to the front cab, and hopefully it'll filter through to the back and reduce the condensation as much as possible. I cannot wait to take you with me on the first camp. So tune in for the next video that'll be coming probably next week. I'm going to try and get some weekly uploads out over the course of 2025. I've got to get myself some new walking boots, got to get myself some waterproof trouser covers. But thank you once again for joining me, and I'll see you on the first camp.